Hey, Jersey Devil 1976 here. Today I'm going to show you a tutorial on how to make hydraulic pistons for your models. If you've seen my scratch build Deff Dread model, you know I've used quite a few on that one. Here's just an example. On this arm I have two right here that help assist the arm bend at the elbow. And then I got two here on the claws that will make it open and close. It's really easy to do, and it adds a lot of mechanical detail to your models. What you're going to need is a piece of styrene tube, a piece of styrene rod that telescopes into the tube, and then just some styrene strip. This is to make the brackets that actually hold the pistons in place. I've cut some of these pieces already just to kind of save some time. You're also going to want to cut some rivets to make it look like the brackets are being supported, and then also look like pivot points for the piston. For the arm, I'm just going to use this piece of sprue. This is like an elbow joint, say, and then we'll do the piston in between here. So you're just going to cut your piece of rod, your piece of tube. You can cut it as long as you want. I kind of like it to be about half of the length of what you're adding it to, just because I like to see both the rod and the tube. I don't want to have just like a big old piece of tube like this, and just a little piece of rod sticking out of the bottom. I kind of like to see both. It makes it look a little bit more interesting. So something like that, But again, it's up to you. You can do whatever you want. From here, you can cut your rod probably about twice as long as your piece of tube. That way you can kind of play around with where you want to position it at. You can have it stretched way out like that. You can have it, kind of wherever you want. I like to put it somewhere like just behind the halfway mark is usually pretty good for me. So we're going to position this to where you want it. That looks pretty good. Just hold on to it. Take your pencil and just mark on that piece of rod. And then we're going to go ahead and glue that tube onto it. Just put a little glue on the rod. Okay. Give that just a second to dry. Okay, now we can go ahead and just glue that right into position. Going to put a little bit of glue on the end here, and then right up here at the top, and then you can kind of brace it between the two pieces. And just hold it there for a second while it sets up. Check, make sure it's nice and straight. And it's okay if you have a little bit left sticking out of the top here. We'll just go back and we'll cut that off at the end when everything's all dried and glued on. Next, you're going to take your strip, and then you're just going to cut some pieces to make the support mounts. About 1/8 of an inch wide is probably good. This is about a 1/4 inch wide piece, so I got my pieces here. Pre-cut them. After I cut the length, I kind of cut a little bit off the end of this one here, made some smaller ones. That'll be for this part right here. I'll go right there on the rod. And then these larger ones will go on the top here and look like it's actually supported on the main part of the arm, and then it'll pivot the piston will pivot on the top part of it. I've also cut off the top corners just a little bit, just to kind of give it a little bit of a rounded look to it. It just, to me, it just looks like it has a little bit more movement rather than just having a straight flush edge on it. So that's nice and glued on there now. Let's go ahead and glue these on. Put a little bit of glue on each. And then just put your piece on. Like so. And grab your smaller one. Put glue on there, and then on the bottom edge. There we go. And then you're just going to go back and you're going to do it on the other side as well. Oops, it fell right off my knife. Okay. There we go. And then the last little one here. Okay, there you go. So now it's all supported and bracketed in there. And now you can go ahead and do your rivets. And if you haven't seen my rivet video, go check it out. I show you how I cut these things and then apply them to the model. I just went ahead and cut these ahead of time just to save a little bit of time. Okay, so you're going to put one over here, like it's being bolted onto the arm, and then put the other one towards the top of the rounded part, so it looks like it's this is like its pivot point here. There you go. I just come back around here, do the other side. Like I said, pretty easy process, but it just adds a lot of little detail to your model. Just makes it more interesting looking. Okay. So there's your hydraulic arm, and let's come back with a pair of flush cutters here and just remove. You can either leave just a little bit at the top, or you can just go ahead and cut it flush. And there you go. Very easy to do, very little materials and tools needed, and looks very effective. So I hope you all enjoy it. I hope you find it useful. If you have any questions or comments, please just let me know, and we'll see you all next time. Thanks, everyone.